Hello, Namaste, Sat good evening. Welcome to the S.S.Chandhok talk show. I'm your host and moderator, S.S.Chandhok. Once again, we have gathered here on a beautiful evening where in some parts of the country it's raining and some part of the country it is very hot and humid. But all the educationists, they are ready. They were always ready, for the upliftment and growth of the children. So today we are going to talk about a very special important topic, that is how to remove the terror or fear of mathematics amongst the students. We are basically talking about the students when they are in grade 5 till grade 5, they enjoy mathematics, but when it comes to middle school, when their syllabus or course increase, they start having a phobia of mathematics and they usually leave mathematics out in their career as well as in their life. Although mathematics is a very interesting and easy subject, what are the reasons behind it and what are the remedies to remove all this fear? For this purpose, we have started this season and this episode we have that for. Without taking any time, I introduce you to the very special guest present over here. First of all, we have a very special guest from Noida, that is Aparna Bage ma'am. She is the head of the Ramagya schools. Around 4 to 5 schools are there, if I'm not wrong. 4 schools in Noida nearby, and she's also heading as a principal of the Noida branch. So she's looking after all the 4 branches and also as a principal in one of the branches. Handling, it's very difficult to handle one school and you are handling 4 schools. As of you, ma'am. First of all, thank you so much, ma'am. You are on the show. You're a very busy personality, but thank you. You have spare your time to come over here. Ma'am, although you people know you all very well, but still, we will like to know about your educational journey, ma'am. Did you came in this profession by chance or by choice? And from a teacher to a principal and now heading 4 schools? Because Tarna Kapoor also was talking about you. She was in one of the branch. Tarna Kapoor.
Yeah.
She was there in one of the branch. She was from Kanpur only. I know her very well. Now she's in GD Goenka.
Yes.
Yeah. I had known from about you from her also and other principals also. A wonderful work you are doing over there and handling all the 4 schools. Welcome, ma'am, and please let us know about yourself.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chandok, and good evening, everyone. It's such a pleasure to sit with such great people and talk on the topic which is so close to my heart. I hope I'm audible, everyone. Okay. So, as you were talking about the journey of mathematics, or whether I became a teacher by choice or so, I will just tell you that I never thought of becoming a teacher, and it is just by chance that I have become a teacher. And then I discovered that I never knew myself before, and I got to know myself better when I have become a teacher. So this is my journey that I have thought about. And because my mother was my mother-in-law was a teacher, and in Sophia School, Kota. And one day, I think in Sophia School, Kota, there are many army ladies who are working as teachers. So it was just that somebody got posted somewhere else, and there was vacancy, and I just got married at that time. So my mother said that you are a mathematics person. We need some help. So the sister principal has asked that, would you like to help for a few days? So I said, why not? I would love to do that. Okay. And anything for your mother-in-law who's a mother. So then this is how I went to the school. They gave me some question papers to solve, and I was very afraid. I'm really telling you. They gave me 11th and 12th class maths and science papers, and I said, okay, now I'm gone. And my mother-in-law's respect will be what? Like they'll say this girl is a mathematics person. She doesn't know anything. That fear was there. Ki pata nahi, mujhe kuch yaad hoga, main theek se kar paungi. But yes, by God's grace, I don't know what happened. But then the principal, ma'am, the sister Joannis, I remember, she called and said that from tomorrow, can you join? I said yes. So what classes? She said you'll be teaching, taking physics practicals and mathematics chapters along with the maths teacher in 12th class, and you'll be teaching the entire physics of 11th class. I said, what? I said, okay, so this is how the journey has begun. And I really want to tell you that when I entered the classroom and the love that you get there and the adulation that you get there, they make you feel better than all, I think, superstars in movies and everywhere. That is how you feel inside a classroom. And so then I discovered, oh, this is what I and when you discover that, yes, you can actually help a young mind understand themselves and show them the clear path and be a helper in their journey of life. I think there's nothing better in the world than that. So this is what I discovered when I started my career way back in 91, 92. And so this is what, and from then on it is like the journey is going on. And in fact, I did my post graduation in mathematics. After then I did my B.Ed, then the post graduation, and this is how the journey went on further. So this is
So,
what I
ma'am,
wanted.
that was a child marriage or what? Because you did all your education after your graduation only you
No,
got
I was
married.
a graduate before that. When I got married. And so I was a graduate before I got married. And then I did my post graduation and the B.Ed, because finally I decided to be a teacher. So this is how it went on. But yes, maths is something I'm passionate about. I don't know. It really,
My goodness, that's an
uh,
exception.
and no, I
I
can.
must tell you, maximum principals they are PGT English background,
It is just
and
that the times have changed, Mr. Chandok. It's not like that anymore. वो पुराने जमाने में ऐसा होता था that the word principal was associated with these subjects. Now it is not like that. Not at
no,
all.
I'm not saying that. Whatever I mean, coincidence it is that whenever the principals are coming, they are mostly PGT English. They had
Ah,
been
yes,
commerce
yes.
students, commerce teacher also got. I am a commerce background person. I'm accountancy was my subject during the schools I had been working.
Mhm.
That's wonderful, ma'am. From this place to where you went then from
So
Kota to
from Kota, I went to Noida. I have come to Noida. So my husband got transferred here. So I was here only. So since then I'm here. So lucky
very good.
journey.
That's wonderful, ma'am. And how do you feel when you are looking after all the four schools along with your school?
I just love it. I think we get a better chance of doing good and spreading the knowledge and trying to bring good things to children. So it's adding up, and we are going to new branches now, and we're opening one more in Noida Extension. So that makes you feel
Great.
so good that okay, more children, you can do better work with more children. You can change more generations. You can
That's
open more new minds. I think it's just like that. It's I love doing
that
the job that I do.
that's wonderful, ma'am. That's wonderful. You have a vast experience, and your caliber has shown that the management is also coming forward to increase their, the number of schools also, and you're also supporting them a lot. Welcome, ma'am, and thank you so much once again for coming up to the show.
Okay.
Next, we have Anisha Sharma, ma'am. She is a principal of a very far away place that is Siliguri, West Bengal, and a very prestigious brand which everybody knows in the world, DPS. So she is the principal of DPS Siliguri from since very long. I don't know. She'll tell about herself. And her school is doing wonderful in Siliguri. I had been seeing and following the work she is doing over there. Hats off to her. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am, to the show.
Good evening, and namaskar.
Ma'am, please let us know about your educational journey, ma'am. Please.
I was like Panda Madam, I was also very young, just graduated and joined this education. I knew nothing more than a teachership. So it is always by choice, not by chance. And I was very young at that time. So started as a primary teacher and gradually completed my post graduation. I have completed my post graduation in 3 subjects: English, history, and sociology. And yes, as you said, that most of the principals are from humanities background. But now, yes, physics, chemistry, any science, any stream coming up, because now this is no more confined to, ladies having no choice. So they go by as last option, they choose education. No, now many of them are choosing this as profession, though I don't believe that this is a profession. This is a work which we are doing, and nobody can pay us back for what we are doing for the society and for the nation as large. And I love this profession. More than loving, I am very passionate about bringing a change in the youth. I think we see youth, they have power, and we can dream of India, and we can build it the way we want India to be. As Modi ji said that Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat, I also believe on the same vision. And through our children, we can design and we can help to turn this vision into reality by making the changes in the youth. And along with education, yes, I always believe that moral values and ethics matter. It is overall development and the holistic development of the students which we are doing. We all educate this. So it's not just a profession for me. Till my stamina allows, I want to be into this field.
That's wonderful, ma'am. Which was your first school, ma'am, as a teacher?
Westland Higher Secondary School in Rajnandgaon near Raipur it is.
Oh, that's great.
That I am talking about. I belong to Chhattisgarh. My birthplace is Nagpur. Then we shifted to Chhattisgarh, and from
Okay.
to this place. Yes.
Kanika ma'am is also from Nagpur. So after the show, I'll share that contact details. So you might be Padosi sort of thing, neighbor sort of thing. That's wonderful. So ma'am, from which year you are heading this school in Siliguri?
This I have completed 2 years. Sir. During
Okay.
pandemic, I got this opportunity. People were losing their job, and I was very fortunate. During this pandemic, I got to be the principal of DPS and enjoying this amongst the student and the people and the weather. We are catering 5,000 students here. So
Wonderful. That's wonderful, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, and welcome, ma'am.
thank
Next
you.
we have I came to know one more maths guru, that is Mr. Rajiv Garg sir. He is the principal of Tata Mega World Academy, Navi Mumbai. Welcome, Rajiv sir. Nice to see you here. Uh, as a gentleman, please, sir, let us also know about your educational journey, sir. How did you start it up in this profession? Why? I mean, what was your qualification? Where you went, and how did you reach over here?
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, and my humble pranams to everyone. My journey with the education started very long back. You know, when I passed my 12th standard, I was very good in mathematics right from my childhood. And every time, in earlier days, there was competitions when you want to seek admission in the schools or colleges. Fortunately or unfortunately, at the age of 2.5 only, I was introduced to the school education. So my mother took me to Cambridge School in Delhi and asked the principal that please take this child. He is not allowing me to do any home assignments. The principal asked, and the principal said, "Okay, fine, we'll ask some questions." And she started putting some maths question. At that time, it was not a maths wizard for me. I was not aware what she is asking about, but she asked some numbers, and I answered those numbers. Every day, I used to play with mom on those numbers, and fortunately, I got admission in junior KG at that time. My journey started with that numbers, playing with numbers. I was not good in other subjects, but yes, maths was my subject. Maybe I inherited because my father was engineer, and my brother was also a passionate lover of mathematics. So somehow I think I inherited that particular quality. In 12th class also, when I passed in 10th class, in 12th class, in board examinations, every time my maths marks were always higher than any other subject on the top. When I passed my 12th class and I took admission, fortunately, I got admission with honors in mathematics in Delhi University because my score in mathematics was very good as compared to physics, chemistry, though I'm a science student. And by the time I finished my graduation, I started teaching the 12th class students on mathematics. I used to help them to solve their problems. After doing graduation, everybody has some dream. My dream was either to become a teacher or an IPS officer. I entered in MSc. I did my MSc from Delhi University, and I appeared for civil services examination. Prelims were cleared, and I was very happy. I was enjoying. Now I'll prepare myself for the final examinations. And unfortunately, very second day, the news came that the result has been cancelled because in Gaya, the paper was leaked. And I put all my heart and soul for preparing for that examination. I was a little depressed, and then I thought, if at that level, at that bureaucratic level, if that much, things can happen, forget about it. And I dropped my idea of, taking that civil services, and I entered myself into teaching profession. So I joined DAV institutions in Delhi. My first assignment was with Kulachi Hansraj Model School. And from there, what journey I started, it was never look back. Yeah, in between, there was some assignments where I tried to deviate myself from teaching profession. I did my MBA, and I tried to join some corporate house, but my passion for teaching did not allow me, and I left the job in a period of only 1 year, and I came back to teaching. Since then, it is going on, and then a series of DAV institutions in Bombay I established. I wrote books also on mathematics, sample question papers. I was a paper setter for Staff Selection Commission also on quantitative aptitude. And since then, I'm contributing for development of the students. My basically my thought process is it is not the examination or the assessment that term and examination that may declare the child pass or fail. It is the progression the child is showing, howsoever little it may be, but yes, that progression is important. So this is and I also believe that teaching is such a wonderful profession where teacher and the taught both get involved in the 360-degree change in the child and the value orientations. Right? Howsoever the word will say that the honesty is the best policy is the false proverb, but we believe that yes, honesty is the best policy. And this is how
absolutely right, sir.
Yeah.
We are all proud to be a teacher.
Yes.
Before principal or whatever we are heading, we are teachers, and we are proud of it. How people take it, yeah, how people take it, we are not concerned with that. We are happy by our heart that we are doing justice to the students, and we will be doing that, and we are very happy with that.
And generally, I quote the people also. Even the prime minister cannot be the prime minister if the teacher will not teach him.
Absolutely right.
So it is the teacher who is the person behind, whether it's a prime minister, whether it's an IAS officer, whether it is a president.
There's a one small recording, sir, which I have floated on my social media, also on Facebook, about the teacher, that there were 4 people sitting, and just have a look on my Facebook content. So there it said that teachers, that there was an army person, there was a doctor, I think there was an engineer also, and in front of teacher only name was. So everybody was being asked that whom do you regard the most highest person? So somebody said doctor, somebody said army, they people, they protect us. To whom do you regard the least? They said this lady, because we don't know what she is. So it was being revealed that this lady is the teacher of all these 3.
Yes.
So they said no, so we should regard her the best. So there's a lot of controversy. Let's not talk about that, which keeps on going in on social media. I posted that for the good, but a lot of things are happening on that also. Comments are coming.
I also posted the same video,
But whatever comments I'm getting, said just go through it. You will see that what people intend. Yeah, so that is what a controversial sort of things are happening over there that people don't respect and this and that. But still, I'm happy. I am a teacher. I'm blessed to be a teacher. Thank you so much, sir. Next, we have Kanika Anand ma'am. She is the principal of Edifice School, Nagpur. That is also a chain of schools which is very famous throughout the country. Kanika ma'am, welcome to the show for the first time. Please introduce yourself, and please let us know about your educational journey.
Thank you, sir. And good evening, everyone. And my journey is not different from others. What I could hear from everybody is, at our times, I believe we didn't know much. We didn't have much of an exposure. We never knew what we want to be. So it is not something which I wanted to be, but it was something which my father saw in me. because I think that time, the parents had this notion that for girls, teaching is the best profession. So he insisted that I go for B.Ed. So when he insisted, I went for B.Ed. And when you're doing B.Ed, you have those demonstration classes and you have to give lectures. That is when I, got to know that actually what I'm doing, I'm loving it. And that is what I'm, all my life I can do, and I can give lectures and talk to children and, be happy around them. So that is how my journey began. And then as one of the other speaker also said that, my journey is also similar to hers. Like from teacher, I became HOD to coordinator to vice principal to principal. But yes, I'm from humanities background. And this is really an exciting topic today for me, because consider me as an amateur speaker today, because I am one of those students who always, who was always terrified of maths. So I've hated maths all my life. So today, when I got to know that I'm going to be speaking on maths, so first thing I did was I spoke to my children in school, the students, and I asked them that, I have this topic, so what should I speak on? So what the students said, most of the students, they said that, ma'am, don't say anything, just say the full form of maths. And I said, what is that? And I didn't get one, I got two full forms of maths. And I want mathematics, people to guide me on that when they speak. So first they said that Meri Atma tujhe hamesha satayegi. They said that is what maths, and I could literally relate with them. And second, they said that maths is, mentally affected teacher harassing students. So it is going to be interesting today. So I'm looking forward. But whatever I'm going to speak on, I'll be speaking on my experience as a student, as a teacher, and as a principal, of course, when I see children being terrorized of maths. Yeah. Thank you.
Ma'am, please let us know about yourself. I'll talk about mathematics also. Many principals, let me tell you, Kanika, ma'am, many principals, they refuse. They say, we love to come to your show, but maths, oh no, no, Baba, no. That is not our cup of tea. That's not our forte. We don't want to come. We had terror in our time also, and still now we have that. But
Yes.
some of the principals came like you forward, that I had that phobia or fear in my mind. I will go forward and understand how to remove that amongst my students. Whatever has happened with me should not happen to my students.
Very true. Yes.
Ma'am, this is happening from ages, that maths phobia has been happening. It is still prevailing in the country. So we need to talk. So I am taking only those topics which are directly related to the students. So this was the very hot topic where I met Nirmal sir. I'll talk about him also after this. That I met him and said, please guide us, and we should talk about this, that what are the remedies, what can we do for that? Kanika ma'am, please let us know about yourself. Where did you started your schooling? I mean, your teaching. And did you start it from Nagpur only, or?
No. No, I come from Himachal, a very small town called Solan. So I'm born and brought up there. And I started my teaching from there itself, DAV school, then St. Luke's, then Army Public School, Dakshai, against leave vacancy. And I don't know, I mean, you'll be surprised to know that once I got married, I took 6 years gap. Because it was an arranged marriage. I wanted to know my husband, my in-laws, and then one child, another. So I am blessed with 2 boys now who are teenagers. Now one is in 10th, another in 12th. So I have my board exams this year. But then, after 6 years, when I thought that I should get into teaching again, because my younger son was going to get into nursery. So that is how I started. And there also, the principal of that school wherein I joined as a teacher, she was one of the pillar of strength. She was one of the supportive person who said that don't worry if you have 6 years gap, I'm there. I'll bring that confidence back. So I've been very blessed to have the right kind of people around me all my life. So that is how I started.
Ma'am, were you able to understand everyone after 6 years? Because after 4 years also, I'm not able to understand till now. Were you able to understand after 6 years?
True.
After my 23 years of marriage till now, I'm not able to understand. But still, you understood. You understood after 6 years. You understood in 6 years only. Very intelligent.
No, it's easier for women, ladies to understand.
Perfect. You took my words. You took my words. This is right.
Yeah.
This is absolutely right, ma'am.
Yes.
That's wonderful, ma'am. It's wonderful talking to you. I hope to have a good session today. Welcome,
Yes,
ma'am.
thank you.
Then we have Rashmi Rekha Shah, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am, once again. She's also from Mumbai and a very prestigious
Good evening,
institution.
everybody. Good evening, sir.
She is the principal of Jaipurier School, and ma'am is also a learned person, a very experienced person. Ma'am, although I know about yourself, Dr. Rashmi, ma'am, Rashmi, I know about yourself, but please, other also would like to know about your education journey because we have reached there. See, what happens was when we were teachers, we used to see the principal is coming in a long car and sitting in an AC office. He's having a good time. So karma is there. We have become principals now. And what how difficult it is to sit on the seat. So the people should understand, the teachers and the people who will be seeing all these episodes, they should know that how many years we have spent learning and learning and doing, and we have reached there. It's not so easy. Whatever you see from that side to us, it's not so easy to reach over there. Rashmi ma'am, please let us know about your educational journey.
So the journey began long back. Teaching was never by chance. It was my choice. But it was in different field. I did my software engineering diploma course, and I was there in NIT and Aptech, joined as a center head, and there I was teaching the computers. But my subject passion is geography, so I was always very passionate about geography, social science. So somehow I did my post graduation and PhD, and I joined colleges as an assistant professor in a renowned college in Mumbai. But as my daughter was very small, very young that time, so I joined Reliance School as a fifth standard class teacher. And there how my journey began long back since 1995. I'm working as a teacher, then coordinator, and then all leadership roles. And there now last few years I'm working as a principal. So this is all about, and it is learning from scratch to the highest level. So it's all journey about learning, working hard, and there are a lot of failures, and you gain the experience and you work ahead.
Absolutely right, ma'am. So what do you feel? It was better to be a teacher or to be a principal?
Uh, Being a teacher, both the roles has its own role to play. Being a teacher, I was directly talking to the students, so I could influence my students directly. So I have a lot of good contacts with the students where I taught as a teacher. But here the role is more challenging being a principal, because you have to influence the teachers to influence those young minds. Because being a principal, it is not possible to meet the students on daily basis. So being a leader, being a principal, it is always like you have to influence the teachers. You have to demonstrate yourself. You have to talk to your teachers. You have to motivate. And wherever you get chance to talk to the students, then you influence and motivate. So both has its own responsibilities and challenges, but both the journeys are equally important, because being a teacher
Yes,
also
ma'am.
is not that easy.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. When it is good, it is of everyone. But when it is wrong, it is of principals only. This is the main difference. Well, something happened in the school, and if the management was praising and they gave a reward to everyone. So I said, when it is right, it is everyone's contribution. But when there is something wrong, it is everything I have done for that.
But
So
yes, when you gave this topic, I remember, as ma'am also spoke about it, that I remember this is the third time when I could actually make this show, this maths. And I remember you asked me once, Ki Rashmi ma'am, is it the maths topic that is the reason you are denying to join the show? I said, no, sir, the time is really not permitting. And unfortunately, every time I was traveling when this show was there. So, but truly, maths is a scary subject till today. I'm afraid of maths. And whenever it comes beside and means somewhere maths is there, I'm 10 feet away from that subject.
but after this show, ma'am, you won't get feared of that. You will love maths for sure. For
And like
sure,
this,
ma'am.
even I today I shared with my teachers that let me go home early, because 5:30 is the show I have to join. And today the show is all about maths. So one of the teachers said, "Maths? You are going to speak about maths?" I said, "Yes."
So see, ma'am, how difficult or how important this topic is. Thanks to you have come, because after this, you are going to take away a lot of things for your teachers and for your student for sure. I am giving you guarantee for this. You're going to take a lot of things from here. Thank you, ma'am, and welcome, ma'am. Let's move forward because there's a lot to talk about. Next, we have a very pleasing personality and expert of this particular season and show. That is Mr. Nibal Shah. He is the co-founder of an AI-based app called Counting Well. Sir is the co-founder of Counting Well, a maths learning app for middle schoolers. Their goal is to make maths learning easy, anxiety-free, and participative for children across the country. Their focus is to help the so-called average students become more confident with maths and develop great problem-solving skills. They step in where school teachers are not able to provide personalized attention due to lack of time and bandwidth. He is also a designing career maker and had made life lessons plan on the age group of 10 to 14, group built around mathematics, where his funda is that kids must know that maths better and it will matter throughout their life. The best way is to show them how. So this funda sir has, thank you Nirbal sir for coming once again to the show, because this is a very chronic and old age disease, and till now it is prevailing, and you are supporting us to come again and again into the show. So first of all, everybody will like to know that how did you came into your mind and how did you got the courage to start up an app, and that too based on mathematics, and tell something a little imprecise about what it is, please sir.
Thank you for inviting me back to the show. It's always been a very enlightening experience meeting all the principals and teachers and administrators of the schools. And you're right. We have had so many shows where people have come who said that I'm curious about maths. I hated maths and I was afraid of maths, but I came to the show because of that. But I think that, given that the show is not really about maths, but about helping children overcome the phobia, that's what I would like to focus on as well. So my connection with maths, or rather, I would say that my first encounter with maths phobia was, of course, in my own school as well, where I encountered the maths phobia, but fortunately, I had a great maths teacher who helped us overcome that. And then when I got into my profession, and I was in the IT business, and I used to I was the managing director of a IT consulting firm. And as part of my job, I used to hire a lot of people from IITs across the country. And I've been to many IITs, I've hired them for over 7-8 years. And during this time, when we used to interview these students, we did not interview them so much on computing as such. Even though they were for programming roles, we knew that what they would learn in the college was not really something that we could just pick up straight off. So most of our interviews would focus on things like analytical skills, logical skills, and things like that. And of course, a part of that would be around numeracy and mathematical skills and so on. And what I found was that while most of the students were able to apply formula to the given situation, when we asked them very basic common sense mathematics questions, they were not able to answer. And I could sense that, that whole thing ki ye maths ke sawal kyun pooch raha hai. So that started coming up even in, students from IITs that we were interviewing. They were expecting questions around algorithms and data structures and things like that. But when we went into very basic mathematics, that was not really working out. And then I tried to understand why this problem is happening. Is it because they are afraid of maths, or they're just, they're just starting to feel that I came for a computing interview and why is this guy asking me maths questions, or is there something more? And what I started to realize is that this starts way before, right? So even though we are expecting that they're from IITs and they've passed their JEE and so on and so forth, they would have done very quick calculations. What is really happening is that some of this is really a remnant of what they carry from their primary school to the middle school and then onwards. So I tried to kind of delve a little deeper and try to understand where is this lack of for any better word, math common sense coming from, right? And then I started seeing my son get from primary school to middle school, and I could see a change in his attitude towards mathematics as well. So earlier, he would come home, get very excited, let me sit down, do my homework. But once he got into middle school, his attitude was that I'm hungry now, pehle mujhe khana de do. Then it would be that, my friends will go away, it's time to play, let me finish the play first. All those excuses would come. And finally, we had to force him to do the homework. So why was this happening? And what I started to realize is that there were a couple of things which were starting to come into play. One is that the maths textbooks were becoming bigger, the number of concepts were increasing. So, earlier it used to be a lot of play, but now it was not play anymore. That seriousness was creeping in. And we as parents, his teachers, everybody was giving that spin of seriousness to the subject. The second thing which was happening is that the kind of problems that he was facing or the kind of problems that he had to solve had changed drastically. They were not very simple problems anymore. They were word problems. There would be problems which would not pinpoint the specific chapter that they would come from. So in the textbook, when he solves the problems, if it is a triangles problem, then it is at the end of the triangles chapter. So he knows that I have to apply triangle concepts. But in the exams, there would be no such thing. So he might have to, do a combination of linear equations and triangles. And how does he know which chapters to pick up the concepts from? Because the question does not say that this is from this chapter. So if there is that keyword, if there is a word called triangle in the question, then maybe he applies that concept, but otherwise he does not know what to do. So that is where these problems start to creep in. And that is where, the children then start focusing more on memorizing the formula, memorizing the properties, rather than actually learning real mathematics. And then that carries on, right? So that's what we found. And then I started talking to my co-founder at that time. This was about 5 years back, and he also felt that this is a real problem, and maybe there is some way that we can solve it. Coming from an IT background, our first step was to create some kind of software around this, right? So what we realized is that when children try to solve a problem, they need two important skills which don't seem to be taught very explicitly in the classroom. First of this skill is what we call as a modeling skill, the ability to create a strategy to solve a problem and then apply the strategy to solve the problems. First, do they have that ability to strategize the solution? The second, more important, is language skills in relation to mathematics. What we found is that comprehension or language comprehension was a very, very important skill when it came to mathematics, but the focus was never there in the maths classroom. They would need to be able to understand a word problem, apply a mathematical context before they actually solve the problem. But that focus was never given. So when we created this software, we said, let's do a kind of a diagnostic assessment and try to identify what are these skill gaps, right? What we have hypothesized, what we have kind of come up with an idea that there needs to be comprehension skills or language skills, there need to be modeling skills, and then of course there need to be conceptual skills. Is it really true? And we created this kind of a assessment structure, and we went to a few schools and we said, can we do a pilot with a few of the students? Incidentally, one of the schools that we went to, Rajiv sir, was Kulachi Hansraj in Delhi. And, that was a pretty forward thinking school. At least the teachers that we were connected to, they were very excited. They said, yes, why not? Let's do this. So we went and did these pilots there. And what we found that the hypothesis we had was true, that comprehension was a hurdle, modeling was a problem. But also another very interesting thing happened. So the principals came and said that, can we give the same assessment to our teachers? And, can we test them on the same areas that you tested the students on? And we were very excited. We said, why not? Let's do this. And we did that. And when we did that, what we found is that, one, the teachers also have the same gaps that the children have. So it was kind of becoming obvious that this is flowing down from teachers to students. And then there was this other very interesting incident, which I will never forget, which is that, one of the teachers called me and said, here is a question you have given us. This is a 6th grade question. I'm an 8th grade teacher and I cannot solve this problem. So, it was very surprising to us. But as we kind of tried to dig deeper, what we understood was that the teachers are so boxed in with what they have to teach for that day, for that year, that they just don't go beyond. They don't have the time. They don't have the bandwidth. They don't even have the energy to think beyond. right? So where is the question of, if they are not going from 8th grade to 6th grade, where is the question of them thinking about modeling skills and comprehension skills and all these kind of things? So we realize that when we create a solution, we cannot simply create a solution for the student. We have to keep the teacher in mind as well. And we have to see how we can involve the teacher very closely in this whole process. It needs to start with the teacher and then go to the student, rather than saying that it's a very student centric. So forget the teacher, forget the school, just create something for the students. So that's how the whole idea of Counting Well was created. When we went to the principals also, they said that, you guys have given us all the problem statement, but you guys have to come up with a solution. So, and that solution needs to involve the school and the teachers. So that was the basis of Counting Well. So when we created Counting Well, we said that we do all these diagnostic assessment, personalized learning for children, help them overcome all these learning gaps. But how do we involve the teachers and the schools in this whole process?
That's wonderful, sir. And I think Rajiv, sir, you know whole incidents. You were there at that time, sir.
No, sir, I was not there, but yes, teachers told me about their program, because still I have.
Okay.
There,
Okay.
told me about it.
So we got a cross check that this is something right, sir, has spoken about that this thing happened. It's very surprising that 8th class teacher is saying that I cannot solve a problem of grade 6. That's really very amazing. The lower class problems at least you solve. Higher class you may not be able to, but that's but the thing is they're rigid, that they have to learn that, and that learning is coming forward, not understanding is coming forward. That is why there's a problem. Thank you so much, Nirmal sir. We will like to have some more knowledge, many more knowledge in the later part of the session. Thank you and welcome once again. We'll come up to the first round, and for the first round, I'll come up to Aparna ma'am. Aparna ma'am, we will like to know your views on the saying that when children reach in middle school, they have terror or fear of mathematics. According to you, what are the reasons behind that?
Mr. Chandhok, if you'll ask me, I will just say that it is not middle school where we talk about fear of mathematics. It is from the very beginning, if it is there. If it is there, then it has to be from the very beginning at the primary age level only, because numeracy, if you see the latest review I was reading, actually I was a speaker on CNBC today, but I committed to you, so I refused them. And the problem there that was discussed today on CNBC channel TV was about about a study that the government has done recently about within I think some 1,000 schools they've studied, and they found out that at very primary level, the numeracy skills of children are just 15% of what it should be. And the language skills are worse than the numeracy skill. This is the first thing that I want to tell you. I was just reading the research because I was supposed to speak. So the thing is that if you ask me, it's not about the middle school or it's about the primary school. It's about the basic knowledge that we have. And the very important thing, just like I just heard from Counting Well, that yes, if you ask me, I will talk about the teachers first, right? That it is, we are so tied up, the teachers are so tied up with finishing the syllabus. We are forgetting that it's about clearing the concepts. It's about working on the concepts and working on the mathematical skills or basic numeracy. If you see, there's something called street mathematics, right? If you talk about street mathematics, basic generally you go to a vendor. एक सब्जी वाले की मैथ्स जो है एक स्कूल में पढ़ने वाले बच्चे से बहुत अच्छी होती है. वो बच्चा जो 10 साल का है और सब्जी बेच रहा है, वो इतना क्विक कैलकुलेशन करता है कि स्कूल में अच्छे से अच्छे स्कूल में पढ़ने वाले बच्चे सोच भी नहीं सकते हैं. They can't even imagine to answer so quickly. Like being a maths teacher myself and been teaching math for so many years, I think my maths was not good enough as his maths was, right? So it's about it is about this thing that ki practical application of a knowledge which we lack very much in our education system, और ये primary level से शुरू हो जाता है. Our problem starts from primary levels. There's for me, there's nothing like middle school fear. Yes, the level of we learn the basic things. We learn the basic mathematical operations. Then we learn about fractions. Then we learn about we come to algebra. Then as we grow, algebra increasing 6th, 7th, 8th grade. It keeps changing. 9th, it comes at a higher level. 11th, the maths is a totally different story. Children who think that after 10th, they've got good marks in mathematics and they should choose maths as subjects, a very different story. Maths is totally different when you come to 11th and 12th. So it's basically, I feel that we forget that maths is the basic language of world. It's a basic language of universe, if you see. So we have to make our children very much attuned to maths from the very beginning. When we teach maths, we should talk about maths in the basic life that we have, that maths is just everywhere. And many times I've noticed this word fear of mathematics comes like we are discussing this today, isn't it? And it so happens it also gets transferred from parents, right? It goes from generation to generation, and teachers play a very important role. From my own experience, I can tell you, I never knew that I was good in mathematics. I wanted to tell you, it's just that I was studying in sixth class, and normally teachers teaching on the blackboard, and they're, like they write a question and they ask answer, and I love to shout the answer. सबसे पहले मुझे बहुत वो था क्योंकि मुझे जल्दी आंसर आ जाता था, right? So I used to shout the answer. So the teacher gave the questions. ऐसे walk कर रहे थे वो कि फिर then they give a class work. Okay, do this 3-4 questions in the class. So that was happening, and he came to me and asked me, "Is your father a mathematics professor?" And I said, "Why? So you must be doing maths at home a lot." But no, not at all. In fact, I told him my father is a politician. He's not a mathematics professor. And that day when he questioned me like that, I think that changed my life a lot. मुझे लगा कि अच्छा, am I good in mathematics? I never realized it. And that one sentence has changed my life like anything, right? So it was a motivation and encouragement has come from a teacher. And I realized that, okay, I can do mathematics very well. And so I chose mathematics as my subject. And I saw that, yes, I'm understanding it very clearly. I understood the language. The point was that this language is very clear to me. It's just that maths is a language for me, and I understand it very well. This is what I realized. So this is one thing that I feel that, yes, there is no fear of mathematics according to me. It just happens because the circumstances around us always plays on our mind, and indirectly it plays on our mind, and we do not even realize it. Like I told you that how I thought that maths is the easiest subject. Okay, I'm good at maths. This is how I realized this. Similar way, other children, they realize the other aspect of that. Okay, maths is difficult.
Because the teachers are saying to them that you're not good at maths. They have the opposite thing then.
It's not
I'm not good at maths. I'm not good at maths means I won't be able to do that. That is also a reason.
So if they don't, we forget that solving something, everybody's an aptitude. Normal sa conversation hai ye, hum yahi har jagah discuss karte hain. But yes, I was listening, and I think this app I will have in my school. I will be contacting you. It's beautiful things that you have said, because this is what I believe in. That if we go further and we want to do something about it, we first have to realize that it's if your languages are very clear, then you will understand anything better than what you normally do. It is not only about mathematics, it's about science also. You will understand your language is good, you're good in languages, then you will understand what is written in the books. You don't need a teacher to make you understand that, read the lesson, and then you will understand. No, everything will become very clear to you. So we have to pay attention to languages in the very beginning. And any other subject language, they will understand very well. That will be very clear. And the most important thing is training of the teachers, and that is the most important part of anything, any subject, be it mathematics, that we need to train our teachers in the right way. Because the old system of training that is going on, the B.Eds which are going on, I don't think that we do justification for, as a teacher, we are giving enough to our teachers. Like, we are not giving them all the tools to fight properly. I feel like that is what is needed.
Absolutely right, ma'am. And you were right also one point that the parents' pressure is there because they were not good at mathematics, or the teacher was not very good, whatever you can say. So the same. So they keep on saying, but maths, it's going to be a big thing for you. So it comes into mind, why my parents are saying like this, that maths is going to be a very difficult thing for you. It's a normal thing. So that is also very important, a big reason that students, they start having. You're absolutely right, from the very beginning, from the primary level only, that problem start rising. But when the syllabus increases and your pressure increases from the parents till 5, parents are not very worried. But still, as they keep on coming to the the middle school, that keeps on increasing with their parents also. Thank you so much, Aparna ma'am. We'll come up to Anisha ma'am. Anisha ma'am, we will also like to know your views on the saying when the students reach middle school, they start having terror or fear of mathematics?
See, the conversation since we started, we are talking about all negative words, terror, fear. So this is what we are doing with the kids. Kids are not acquainted with fear, low confidence, confidence. It is the parents and the teachers who boost this thing on the children. So it is not that they love English, they do not love maths. It is we who inculcate this thing in them, and it is, I should say, transmitted by the parents and the teachers. So since the beginning we started, why we are using the terror of maths, the topic is how to remove the terror of maths. We talk about the fear that maths is a difficult subject. If we are using all these negative words, first of all, as a teacher, if we use positive, then they will never have a fear of maths, no point having. And I do not believe on any classes, any age, like Aparna madam well said, that it is not middle school where they feel that maths is a difficult subject. If they feel it is difficult, it is from the beginning. If they love that subject and loving that subject, liking the subject and performing the subject very much depends on the quality of the teacher and the way she is teaching or he is teaching. I think that for that, which I believe connectivity is very important. If you are well connected with the physics teacher, you will perform better in physics. So maths is not only a subject, it is a skill. And in our day-to-day life, we use from traveling, budgeting, buying, purchasing, selling, everything is done by using maths. So how they can have the terror of maths if we start by giving 5 toffees and asking them to give 2 toffees to the next student sitting beside. In this way, if we start the subject, how suddenly overnight or over a year, they will think that maths is a difficult subject? No, I don't believe. So I believe that connectivity is very important. Loving the subject of a teacher and making them feel that that is very important. It is the fear created in the environment, in the living room by the parents and their fathers and their dada, chacha, chachi, anyone around. Environment also matters. It plays a very important role in today's era where technology is used in this one. So no point having any fear of maths or any other subject. It is the way the teacher uses that subject, teaches the style, the methodology, and the teaching aid is still very, very important. So it is the teacher, it is the connectivity, it is talking positive, it is telling and boosting the confidence in the child. If we say, no, maths is very difficult. Which paper you have? Okay, maths, go. It's very tough. So why we are distinguishing that this subject is difficult? That means we are hitting and we are instilling this, that maths is a difficult subject. The day we will stop, half of our problem will be sorted out from the children's mind. When they are making mistakes, we should allow them to make mistakes. When a teacher is calling Amit Shah to solve a sums on the board, they should not say, no, you are not able to. We should encourage. So this can-do thing should be instilled in the child so that they do not have any fear and terror of maths. So this is the way we should go ahead. And I think the positivity of our teachers and words used by the teachers matters a lot while teaching any subject, whether it is chemistry, physics. The day when Newton discovered that the apple is falling from the ground and the curiosity was there, that curiosity should be created. That imagination is very important part of, creativity is very important part of, critical thinking is very important part of our teaching methods. So we should encourage all this. We should encourage the students to come up and finish up by solving, by helping them and instilling them a sense of positivity that yes, they
Right.
can. So I don't think
Absolutely.
we use all the negative tags with maths. Therefore, maths is a difficult subject. And today also we are sitting and discussing that. Instead of that, we never thought that we should talk about, use some positive words related to this.
Absolutely right, Anisha ma'am. I'm so sorry. Next week's topic will be how to love maths. I got a, indirect sort of scolding that they should not be used. And next time, no fear, no anxiety. The topic will be how to love maths. You should love
Yes.
maths.
Love maths.
Maths is a very loving
Very
subject.
interesting subject.
Very interesting subject for sure, ma'am. You have opened my eyes today, ma'am. I will change the topics for the mathematics. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. We'll come up to Rajiv sir. Rajiv sir, being a maths teacher and a maths master, please let us know that suggest some ways in which that we can build up confidence in mathematics among the students.
Thank you, sir. My half of the job is already been done by Anisha ma'am and Aparna ma'am. The first thing is very, very important, we have to dispel the myth, right? And fear from, ourselves as teacher, as parent. Maths is a very difficult subject. Right from the childhood, we start teaching the concepts of mathematics. When the child is not even aware of M of the mathematics, we start teaching maths to the students, right? But how much apple do you want? Half, quarter, 1 portion, 3 portion. We start teaching the students about fractions and all those concepts. But unfortunately, as the child is entering into the formal education system, we create a maths phobia. Maths is a very difficult subject. ना बाबा ना, हमारे कोई नंबर नहीं आते थे, आपको कैसे नंबर आएंगे? वंस एक राजस्थानी से ये पूछा गया, भाई साहब आप बहुत कैलकुलेटिव होते हो, आपका दिमाग बहुत शार्प है, आपका मैथमेटिक्स बहुत शार्प होता है, आपकी कैलकुलेशन बहुत शार्प होती है, ऐसे कैसे पॉसिबल है? तो उसने बड़े हंसते हुए जवाब दिया, बोले हम लोग कैलकुलेशन होते हैं क्योंकि हम चाय में जब बिस्कुट भिगो के खाते हैं ना, उसी टाइम पे कैच करते हैं, उससे पहले कि वो प्लेट में वापस गिर जाए, राइट? हम उतना ही बिस्कुट भिगोते हैं जिससे कि वो नीचे नहीं गिरे। ये कॉन्सेप्ट है मैथमेटिक्स का। हम लोग बच्चों को नंबर सिस्टम सिखाते तो हैं, लेकिन नंबर सिस्टम एक फियर के साथ में सिखाते हैं। हम बच्चों को मिस्टेक करने की परमिशन देते ही नहीं है। और समवेयर सर थोड़ा सा मेरा एक ऐसा मेरा मानना है, अनफॉर्चुनेटली देयर आर सम रॉन्ग पीपल एंटर इन दिस प्रोफेशन when they are teaching mathematics. Might be their past experience with the mathematics is not so good, but they entered somehow in this profession with the teaching mathematics, and their focus always remain on the content which is given in the book. They remain confined, focused, and they don't take the journey of the child around the concepts, right? यही बात जो निर्मल सर ने भी बात बोली कि हम कॉन्सेप्ट बिल्डिंग की तरफ तो हम ध्यान ही नहीं दे रहे हैं, हम बच्चे को गलती करने का तो कोई चांस ही नहीं दे रहे हैं। देयर इज नो पॉइंट वेयर वी अलाउ द चाइल्ड, वी आर सो फियरफुल। बच्चा घर पे आता है, मैथ्स की प्रॉब्लम है, पेरेंट बोलता है मेरे को आता ही नहीं, चल बेटा ट्यूशन सेंटर में जाओ। व्हेन द चाइल्ड इज गोइंग इन द ट्यूशन सेंटर, द ट्यूटर इज आल्सो डूइंग अनदर मिस्टेक। अच्छा कौन से क्वेश्चन है आज, टीचर ने कितने क्वेश्चन कराए हैं? 5 क्वेश्चन कराए हैं। अच्छा ठीक है, यही 5 क्वेश्चन में दोबारा से रिपीट करता हूँ। Where is the child, playing with mathematics, playing with the numbers, algebra, concept, language, all these things play at a secondary level. At the first level is the child enjoying playing with the numbers. हम बच्चे को प्राइमरी सेंटर में, प्री प्राइमरी एजेस में, अर्ली चाइल्डहुड एज में हम बच्चे को हॉप एंड स्कॉच खिलाते हैं, राइट? हर घर में वो गेम खेला है स्टापू के साथ में 1 2 3 4, right? Now from there the beginning of mathematics happened, but unfortunately as the child is growing, there is a saying inquisitiveness, thy name is child. Do we allow the child to ask questions? No, because we are fearful of the questions. If the child is going to ask, as ma'am said, Nirmal sir also said, if you ask question to the teachers, what teacher said, हमें ये question नहीं आते हैं. So the problem is we are not equipping ourselves with the concepts, with the number system properly, and hence we are fearful of answering the questions raised by the students, and we make them shut up, sit down, don't ask questions. So when we say how can we remove fear, or how can we build confidence in the students, number one, let them play with mathematics, let them commit mistakes. The role of the teacher is to facilitate the learning concept rather than entering in the in the shoe of मैं सब कुछ जानता हूँ, right? The thing is how the child is learning, how the child is building the concepts, how much time the child is making the mistakes. So that is one aspect where we need to see. Let the child communicate with some math hero, let the child go to some science shows, let child is connecting the concepts of mathematics around them. Now we give some balls, we have the mechanics game. When the child is growing up, we have some games with the child, how the child can relate those concepts of mathematics. That is a very, very important aspect. How do we relate? As the role of the teacher is very, very important to connect, right? I did an experiment in my school in junior KG, and said the teacher said children are not able to understand the concepts of mathematics. I said a junior KG child, it's a 3-year-old child, will be able to learn the tables very simply. And what I require is, have you taught them counting or not? Counting up to 5, not more than that. And we did the exercise, and believe me, children learned the concepts of mathematics. And not only that, we created games, mathematical games with that. And this I am talking right from 2000. तब तो हमारे पास कंप्यूटर भी नहीं थे, तब तक ये edtech companies भी नहीं थी. But we start teaching mathematics using those games. How can we create mathematical games? How can we create? That creativity lies in us. So if we
absolutely
have
right, sir. So, sir, we can say in one line that it should be a child-oriented class instead of a teacher-oriented class.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
That is most important concept. Should be introduced first without letting them know that they're going to do something. Yes. So teaching by doing. So first doing and then teaching them. Yes. That is more important.
Let the child experiment, let the child explore, let the child commit mistakes.
Yes. Absolutely right, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Because this is a wonderful topic, we can talk throughout the day, but we are in shortage of time to have to see that also. We'll come up to Kanika ma'am. Kanika ma'am, we will like to know your opinion in precise that why do middle school students lose interest in mathematics? Or maybe your incidents you can also say, because you said you had a fear of mathematics. Why did you lose interest in mathematics? Have you thought about that sometime?
Yes, of course I have. But first of all, I would like to thank Rajiv sir when he said that, let children play with maths. I wish I had maths teachers like him. And as far as this question goes, I think there are 2-3 reasons. First reason, I guess, is the parental involvement. All my reasons are interconnected. And I'll tell you how. I think grade 1 to 5, you'll see that, parents also sit with the children and make them understand the concepts. And there is a saying, it takes a village to raise a child. And I guess that village goes missing after 5th grade. And the reason is, again, the interconnection. I come to second reason that why parents' involvement goes missing. Reason is because even maybe their concepts are also not clear. Because we have this, preconceived notion that maths is easier till 5th grade. And as ma'am said, don't use negative words. So I'll not say it becomes difficult, but maybe less easier after 5th grade for the students. And then again, I see that, there is a huge gap between primary teaching learning to secondary teaching learning. So that gap needs to be filled. So when a 5th grader is going to go to the 6th grader, it is very important for 6th grade teachers to sit with 5th grade teachers, to know the background of the child, that how the child is doing in numeracy. And, how can we work on that? So that is what I believe in, because why I speak about that gap, you must have I'll give you one example of a small toy. That, have you seen that small toy, water toy? And once you, it's a very small toy, and when you put it into the water, it becomes 10 times bigger. So that is exactly, I guess, happens with maths. Till fifth grade, it's a fun subject. Teachers are using a lot of teaching aids and fun activities, and students are learning. Parents are involved, and the whole village is involved in making them learn. And then all of a sudden, that small mathematics becomes a huge giant. So I think that is one of the reasons. And I believe Rajiv sir, what he said is totally right, that uh, and I believe and I hope that maths teachers, a lot of responsibilities on their shoulders. And I feel that maths teachers with maths, they need to relaunch themselves and they need to relaunch themselves as fun teachers and fun subjects, because had I had teachers like Rajiv sir who would speak about maths so proudly and say that there's nothing to be scared of and maths is so funny, and you can make it fun if you allow children to play. So I guess, yeah, those are the reasons. Yeah.
That's very good, ma'am. Where you have teachers like Rajiv sir or Aparna ma'am, of course, you
Yes.
will never have a fear of mathematics for sure. Nirmal sir is
Yes.
not a teacher. We can't say him a teacher right now. He's an expert actually for today, but he's a savior. We'll come up to him. Rashmi ma'am, we will also like to know your views in precise that why do school students or middle school students lose interest in mathematics?
Thank you so much for this consideration. I will share from my experience, because that is the time when I started fearing maths a lot. Basically, I feel that the fear basically starts from not from only the middle school, but it's actually from the lower classes. Even at the initial level of primary, first standard, second standard, from those initial days, as the teachers are more focused on the completion of syllabus, or probably the average of the class, or maybe more focused on the good students, or maybe the trainings are not provided to equip the teachers in a well organized way, for which where the concepts are not it never gets clear. So and maths is a subject, if the concepts are not very clear from the very initial days, it crops up with the problem, and the problem starts from simple to complex. So that is how I feel, as the base of the subjects are not very cleared by the teachers. And very rightly, the maths teacher Rajiv sir already spoke about it, that sometimes the incompetency of the teachers also remains responsible, or maybe the individual attention being not paid to all the students. So, and that actually it happened with me also, because now presently maths is not a fearful subject for me, because nowadays I love maths. But during that point of time, I feel that maybe the concepts were not very clear. And with the maths, some I remember that the monkey is climbing up and down and up and down, and then I used to leave maths book 10 meters away. So that is how the concepts are not cleared in the class, and that is the reason in middle school, with more elaborate syllabus, with more pressure of the parents, relatives about the performance, when parents also start asking maths mein kitna mila, because if you are good in maths, means you are a very good student. If you are good in English, you are good in social science, nobody is really going to ask. Your score of maths is actually going to count about how good you are as a student, and that builds up extra pressure on the child. And that is how that growing fear,
Absolutely.
and also the social status of the because you are a mediocre student will be assessed, or you are a very bright student will be assessed only on that particular subject. So that is how the child gets pressurized, and the performance starts affecting in a very negative way. And if the concepts are cleared, and if there and their individual level it can be worked upon for the child.
Right.
And also sometimes it happens, like very rightly the speakers spoke about it, when the child is not very good in one subject, the parents think that, okay, let them go to the coaching class and probably the problem would be solved. Actually, the problem gets more exaggerated because the child remains confused with the teacher and the coaching classes. And the child never gets enough time, neither with the teacher, neither with the coaching classes, and remains in the confused state only.
That's
So-
absolutely right, ma'am. So there are a lot of problems which have been faced by the students and especially by the teachers. Thank you so much. We'll come up to Nirmal sir. Nirmal sir, you have heard all the eminent guests, and now as an expert, first of all, we'd like to know your views on their saying. And one important thing I want to ask from you, which everybody will like to ask, that during last 2 years, the papers were done by Google Baba, including the maths paper also was done by Google Baba. Other subjects can be covered up. If a child was in grade 6, now he's in grade 8. So 6th and 7th, he did nothing in mathematics during the online classes and everything. And now he has come to grade 8 and now going to 9th after this year. He is having problem in this. How is your app solving all these problems? Basically, a lot of things related to mathematics. But the basic problems are that it is from the very beginning, maths, parents have pressure. Apart from that, last 2 years, there was a huge, that gap of mathematics with the students. How are you solving that, sir, in your app?
So, and this also ties in with some of the points which came up, that the maths, I would not even say phobia, right? I think the phobia or the anxiety probably becomes visible from middle school, but the basis for that is actually starting from the earlier years, right? If the foundation is not set right, then obviously when it comes to actually using all these concepts effectively in the middle school and onwards, that is where the students start realizing that they are not able to, or they have not learned things the way they should have, and therefore now this is turning into a snowball, right? So it is right that, even though the phobia might be visible from the middle school, or these problems might become visible in the middle school, they actually start at the earlier age. So what we have done is, when we do these kind of diagnostic assessments where we identify the learning gaps of the children, what we also do is that, and this also ties in with the same, 8th standard, 6th standard wala situation, that if the child is not able to solve a 8th standard problem, is it because the child does not have a specific skill set or does not know a concept which was taught in 8th? Or is it something that the child did not learn something in 7th grade, which is a related concept, and that is why they are not able to solve these problems? So when they don't solve an 8th grade problem, we ask them a related 7th grade problem. If they are not able to solve that, we go backwards. We go as further back till it is needed to identify where this gap started. And that's where we have to fill it. So then we start filling the gap from that stage. Now, what this does is that, one thing, of course, is that we are able to go back and identify where was this root cause, so to speak, and then start filling that. The second thing we do by doing this is also that, instead of saying that the child has to solve the same set of problem as the rest of the class is solving, we are actually going down to the child's level, right? We are saying that, we will not expect you to meet this particular bar, because if we keep giving you the same problem repeatedly, and somebody said this also, right, कि वो ट्यूशन में जाते हैं तो उनको वही प्रॉब्लम दिया जाता है जो स्कूल में दिया वही वापस करो. So how is the child going to be able to solve it? He just doesn't know. That is the whole problem, right? So you go backwards till the point where you identify where that gap started. You go to the child's level and then help the child build up from there. So that is one point. The other point which came up was also very interesting. I think repeatedly that was a common theme. We need to have a positive spin around the whole thing. We need to be able to build the confidence in the child. Now, how do we build the confidence in the child? One, of course, is that if the teacher is able to give personalized one-on-one attention to the child and say that I will sit with you. That's not practical, because 40 minutes, 40 bacche, how are you going to do that? It's not going to happen. Maybe you might have some remedial classes once in a week or once in a month. Even that, most of the schools are not able to implement that, right? So then how do we do that one-on-one learning? The second thing is that the child hesitates to ask the doubts in the class. Again, this point came up, right? कि बच्चा कुछ पूछता नहीं है, चुप बैठा रहता है. So now what the teacher does is that the teacher would take a kind of average baseline or average benchmark and teach according to that, and then ask कि सबको समझ में आया, the front benchers would say yes, समझ में आया, and then the assumption is कि सबको समझ में आ गया, आगे बढ़ो, right? Because we have to complete the syllabus. So then how do we achieve that? How do we build the confidence in those children? So what we have to do is then that we have to reach the level of those children, allow them to make the mistakes, which is again something which everybody repeated, right? Let them make mistakes. Let's not show the frustration to them. Let's not show them that I'm irritated because you are keeping on making the same mistake again and again. If you're making the same mistake, then the gap is probably somewhere else. Can we identify that gap and help them overcome that? So by using an app or by using technology for that matter, one is that we are able to create that sense of one-on-one learning. The child and the app are just two people who are working together, right? There is nobody else. There is no one else, not even the parent is watching. So now what happens is the child is making a mistake. The child does not feel embarrassed by that. The child feels, ठीक है, गलती हो गया. The app has showed me where I have made the mistake. Let me correct that and let me try again. The second, we identify where those gaps are and go to the level of the child. And third, how do we create a positive spin around that? So, and how do we build the confidence of the child, right? Now, this is what Anisha ma'am also brought up, that the child's confidence has to be built. So how we build that is, again, you bring that whole element of gamification into the whole thing. So you say that, okay, you got this wrong, let's go down. You got this wrong, let's go down. Now you've got this right. So let's give them that little, pat on the back in some form in the app that you've got this right. Great stuff. Now let's take one step further. So now we go back up, right? So first we went down to the child's level and then we go up. So that way the child feels that, yes, I can do it. The child starts to become a more confident self-learner. So the idea is also that we have to give them that confidence that I can learn on my own. मैं खुद अगर बैठ के कुछ करता हूं तो मैं सीख सकता हूं. The final thing is also that how do we create this whole sense of involvement in the learning process for the child? Right now, what happens again in the classroom is that it is a one-way broadcast. The teacher is speaking and the child is listening. The child maybe makes notes. In some cases, the child asks a doubt, but most of them don't ask anything. They just quietly make notes, watch what is happening on the blackboard. They just copy what is there on the blackboard and go home. So how can we make it interactive? So one of the things we did, for example, in our app is that we said we will not have too many videos, right? That was a conscious decision we made because we saw that children think that they learn by watching YouTube videos. 1 घंटे का वीडियो देखा, उनको लगा हमने कुछ सीख लिया. You ask them after 2 hours what they learned, they will only carry maybe 15-20% of all of that. The rest of it is just gone because they have not really learned. They have not been able to give that attention to it. So what we did was that instead of creating too much text, too much videos, we said, let's make it interactive. So the child feels that they are participating in this whole learning. How we do this is very simple example. One example we have is that we say that you are going to buy a notebook. The book is going to cost you 18 rupees. Here are a few pictures of money, 50 rupee note, 20 rupee note, 100 rupee note, which is the nearest denomination which you can use to buy this book. Now the child, given that this is a money example and book example, most of the children get it right that they will pick a 20 rupee note. 20 is closest. Now, if we then take them to the concept of estimation, or if we take them to the concept of rounding off, it's very easy to do. कि हमने बोला कि आपने 18 रुपए को 20 को राउंड ऑफ किया, तो अब 98 रुपीस को कैसे राउंड ऑफ करोगे? 100 हो, right? So when you say round off to the nearest decimal, this is the same concept. What 18 rupees became 20 rupees, 2 decimal places means you are rounding off to the nearest hundredths. So that's how you do it. When you do that, the child feels that they're discovering all of these ideas, right? They feel that they are participating, they are not dozing off, 5 minutes mein wo so nahi gaye. The second thing is that they feel that they have learned it by themselves, apne aap se sikha hai, and that builds the confidence. So I think these are some of the ways where we can actually, one, build the confidence in the child, and second, start going to the child's level and say that this is going to be one-on-one learning. We will teach you
Right
level at your speed. So that's the whole.
That's wonderful, sir. That's wonderful, because these type of things are needed for the maths learning. Children, they don't ask in the questions in the class because they feel that others will make fun of him. Even the teacher may scold them. But when at his comfort of time, 24/7, he's putting his mobile in front of him. It is not one-on-one even. It's a device and yourself only. And he can ask that the app will tell him that where are you wrong and where you're right, and you come up to the level. And very important thing and good thing is that you are providing this app to the schools free of cost. You're not charging anything. Am I right, sir? Because declaration has to be done that you are giving free to the schools.
Yes, it is free. It is free. So what we realized is that when we brought it to market and we started going to schools early this year, we always heard back that with all this COVID things which have happened in the last 2 years, the schools are also financially strung. They are also not able to uh, charge more fees from the parents, right? Even the parents, ultimately it kind of flows down to parents. So we realized that we have to somehow help the schools and the students. Ultimately, that is the goal. So we will make money. Obviously, at some point of time that will happen. But this year, whichever schools are signing up, we are giving it free for life.
That's wonderful, sir. Thank you so much, sir. That's wonderful. For life, you are giving it, sir. You are making the life of the students, sir, actually. You are a savior. You are a Santa Claus for the students as of bringing in Counting Well. Or we can say Counting Well is a Santa Claus for the students, which is going to bring, happiness when the mass. They say that when you can easily identify, I don't take it otherwise, Aparna ma'am and Rajiv sir, you can easily identify a math teacher in a school. उसका मुंह लटका हुआ देख के यहाँ पे लाइनें 3 बनी होंगी तो you can identify that this is a math teacher. There are exceptions, ma'am. There are exceptions, sir, but they have a lot of stress because this system where the app is making up the assignments and doing the corrections, a lot of work is being taken away by the app. It is first of the main important thing is it is not removing the importance of this teacher. That is very important. Teacher role has to remain, will always remain whichever technology comes in. Thank you so much, Nirmal sir. We'll come up to the second round and a request to all of you, a 60 seconds answer should be given, not more than that. We are in very shortage of time. We'll come up to Aparna ma'am. Your question is that how, according to you, how does technology helps in making maths more interesting and easy? Your time starts now.
What can I tell you, Mr. Chandok? I think Mr. Nirmal has said everything that I wanted to say. I don't have anything left because all his points are the points that I think I can talk about. His gamification of mathematics is something I totally believe the most important thing. I can only give you a live example that when my son came to grade 1, and that's a time that I wanted him to go over the basic mathematical skills like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay, percentage. आगे जाके हम आते हैं तो फिर then we come to fractions and decimals and percentages and all these things. So what I did was I made a snakes and ladders game. Right, so the snakes were there and all, like, so when you have a right answer, like simple things I did because it was grade 1, that okay, the answer should be right, so he has to write the answer. I wish I could find it. I had time to come home and find it for you because I used it to teach my children also. So the entire snakes and ladder games, like when you can climb up, when you solve this equation, so you will reach here, and if you give the wrong answer, you go back. So that is how I worked on it. So I think that's a very important thing. And the apps that he's talking about, Mr. Nirmal has told us so much about things, and this is all I wanted to say. He has taken all my words, so I do not have anything much to share. His words are my words, but the most important thing I believe is the basic mathematical skills. And it is more than students. We need to train teachers. That is my most important thing. That train teachers. If you train teachers, you train at least 30 children in a class well, and they will have clear basic mathematical skills. That is what is the most important in today's time. I can say that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Anisha, ma'am, your time starts now.
Yeah, technology is very fascinating for the students. They are very much interested with mobile and all the apps. So it makes easier and friendly to learn. So technology, yes, is very useful. And Nirmal sir has already well explained about the importance of technology for making mathematics very interesting subject.
Thank you so much, ma'am. A very good and precise answer. We'll come up to Rajiv sir. Rajiv sir, your views on the saying that blended learning has helped the children to grow in a better way. Your time starts now, sir.
So definitely blended learning is the now way forward. Children have used technology for 2 years during pandemic time. So taking them back to those conventional way of teaching learning process is killing their skills. what they have learned. Moreover, subjects like mathematics, which has already, created a fear factor for them, will become a friendly tool when we say blended learning. So teachers are teaching in the classroom, and using technology, they can give some work. It is said, practice makes man perfect. So, and as Nirmal sir has also said, if the child is not able to understand a particular concept in a self-paced manner, in a self-learning manner, the tool will bring it down to a level where the child start building the concepts again. So definitely, blended learning is going to help, and it is the new. It's also giving feedback and feed forward to the child also.
Right, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Kanika ma'am, your question, that it is often seen that students try to learn mathematics instead of understanding it.
Consider me a student today, all the guest speakers. I'm representing all the students today. So I think maths is taught as a, right or wrong subject. How I'll say, because teachers expect a rigid answer, a fixed answer. And there is a lot of rigidity. Rigidity is really high. So I think, again, I come back to all the speakers and I agree with all of them that, gamification has to be there. Teachers need to be trained. And that is my take. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kanika ma'am. You believe in truth. You are speaking truth that you are a learner right now, but you are going up with a lot of takeaways, which you are going to put forward to your students and your kids also at home also. Because many teachers, they are so rigid that this way I taught you to solve the problem. You have solved the other way. Your answer is right, but I won't take it right. They cut it out and give it 0. Still, there are so many teachers who do it like this. I mean, what to do with these teachers, I don't know. We'll come up to Rashmi ma'am. Rashmi ma'am, your views on the same thing, that children try to learn mathematics instead of understanding it.
I believe, yes, when students fail to understand the concept, then to score marks, what's the option left? The option is to mug up the answer, because steps ke liye to marks mil jayega na. So that is how it happens, where we find that the students, instead of understanding the concept, because we do not allow students to do any kind of mistake, and it has to be that like Kanika ma'am just now spoke about it, the rigidity of the answer is too high. So that is how the option remains with the child, that instead of understanding the concept, because there, as Nirmal sir also said, that in a class of 40, it becomes a very challenging part to provide that individual level. And if we are not taking help of technology or gamification in the class, if we are not introducing such things in the class, in a school, then naturally the child remains cornered by only mugging up the answers or the mugging up the steps instead of just understanding the concept, because the child will have to score. And depending on those parameters, the child starts mugging up and go away from the concepts. And already we have clearly identified, all of us, and all of us agree with the concept that it is not about the middle school problem, not the students of that middle school. The problem actually lingers in the very lower classes, in first standard, second standard, when the foundation level is going on, and at that level only the child was not very clear with the numericals or the even the simple addition, subtraction and all, or even the simple concepts of fraction, and where the child really could not clear the concepts. And that is the reason maybe in the higher classes the child fails to understand the complexity of the sum. And also I feel that now so many somewhere the child migrates from one place to the other. So there also it happens the child is not very well versed with the language. So if the language is also not very strong of the child due to social circumstances or the parental upbringing, there also the child suffers a lot. If the language is also not very clear, the child do not understand what is the problem being asked. So there I think gamification and technology will help the child to progress and will also be able to do the sum at their individual level, because there the child will be allowed with lot of space.
Absolutely right, ma'am. That language is very important along with mathematics. We'll come up to Nirmal sir. Nirmal sir, a straight away question. We all will take your app. But what about the parents के 2 साल के बाद बड़ी मुश्किल से तो मोबाइल छुड़वाया है, आप फिर मोबाइल पकड़ाने की बात कर रहे हैं. What to do with this now if we go up with this app? So how are you making it limited, or what way you are doing it that students, मैं काम कर रहा हूँ तो आप ही ने तो कहा था कि आप use करो, school is doing it. So that all, so everything is right, it is everyone's, but if it is wrong, it is all the fault of principal. So how are you dealing with this point? Also very important point for us. बड़ी मुश्किल से मोबाइल छुड़वाया 2 साल के बाद, sir. Over to you, sir.
Yes, sir. So, in fact, there are two aspects of this, right? So, एक तो definitely yes, कि parents are kind of snatching away the mobiles and iPads and gadgets with a vengeance. They are like, 2 साल तुमको जो करना था कर लिया, अब वापस करो. And we have seen a lot of schools also come back with this, that parents are objecting to using of an app. So what we have done is that to overcome that, and this was something which we consciously decided when we started building the whole content right from early on, that we broke the content down into its constituent learning outcomes. So every class we broke down into about 300 odd learning outcomes. Every chapter effectively comes to anywhere between 15 to 20, 25 learning outcomes, depending on the size. Now, by doing that, what we are able to do is we associate the learning content with each learning outcome. And the way it is structured, we are able to do that each learning outcome then has about 5 to 7 minutes of learning content. Now, when the child learns, we say that you do about 20 minutes a day. In those 20 minutes, you will achieve 3 to 4 learning outcomes, and that is enough for one day. If you just do the math, you will finish all of this whole syllabus, so to speak, in less than 6 months, right? So if you actually do it consistently and well, the child will be able to complete the syllabus and yet not have to spend too much time on the app. So that's the whole idea of breaking down that whole content into.
So that means that you are giving 20 minutes to the child. After 20 minutes, you say, okay, thank you so much, you can go now. And within these 20 minutes, you are introducing 3 to 4 concepts. It is very good because a teacher goes, that they can finish 4 to 6 exercises also in one period when they have a pressure of finishing the syllabus. They are magicians. वो 4 से 6 exercise एक बारी में करा देते कई जगह पे. It happens. So now when you are doing 3 to 4 concepts every day with 20 minutes of teaching only, so daily when you're doing it on a regular practice, of course, your syllabus will be, covered up during this time. So the 20 minutes concept can be introduced to the parents that this whole gap is going to work for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, it will say bye-bye to you. So that is also very good. You can give that answer to the parents.
Yeah, there is another side to this also, because ये pandemic wala jo issue hai, that is not just the parents, even the teachers have come back, right? So they come back and say that ab sab kuch classroom mein hoga, ab kuch online nahi hone wala. They don't want to go online as well. A lot of them are kind of, they think that bahut zyada ho gaya ye, let's not do this anymore. So how do we help overcome that side of it, which we realized recently only, but we said that, when we created this whole platform, we packaged everything for the teachers in a kind of a homework module. And we said that you can assign a homework for just a concept or 2 concepts that are being taught within a chapter. And when the children do that, you will get the diagnostic assessment. What are the learning gaps? What are the outcomes they have not met? And based on that, you can plan your remedials. And within the Counting Well app, the child will also get initial remedial as well. So they will be able to see.
You have come to WhatsApp also, no? Something you were telling about WhatsApp also.
I'm trying to get to. So what we realized is that now the teachers are saying that now you're bringing one more thing. You need to log in and assign the homework and then check the reports. So we said, let's get rid of that. Now what we have done is that the teachers get a message on WhatsApp once in a week or twice in a week, depending on how they want to structure it. And we say that, are you ready to assign your homework? On WhatsApp, they just say assign homework. There are just 4 things which they have to pick. They have to pick the chapter, they have to pick the concepts, they have to pick a due date, just 3 things in fact. And then the homework gets assigned to the children of the class which that teacher is taking. So they don't need to log in, they don't need to do anything. When the homework is done, the teacher gets a report back on WhatsApp. Now what that does is that there are no more reason for excuses or even to say that this is an extra workload for me. There is no more workload, right? Aapko WhatsApp pe message aaya. While you are commuting, you just have to say assign homework. Within seconds, that homework is assigned, right?
That reduce the burden of the teachers also.
Exactly.
And also the parents are able to know that what their child are doing. I mean, they say na 6 घंटे स्कूल जा रहा है, हमें क्या मालूम स्कूल के अंदर क्या हो रहा है. Now they're able to know that what is happening inside the school, and at the very same time, teacher is able to know that what is the common reason where the children are lacking. If we see that the progress of the children is low at some particular topic, say polynomials, so he will be able to understand that polynomials is a topic which I have to take care again. That is a very good thing. That is a very good thing, sir. Wonderful, wonderful thing you have created. Hats off to you. Came up with mathematics, sir. Although I have a fear of mathematics. I was a mathematics student, commerce with maths. I got 98 in grade 12. But now I believe, how did I got it? I don't know how I got it, because it's a long back, 35 years back incident. Thank you so much, sir. Coming up to the last part of the session, that is me time, which we have in the S.S.Chandhok talk show, that before parting, you have to sing 2 lines. Everyone has to sing 2 lines, either in Hindi or original or whatever you want to. Because Rashmi ma'am is an old student and all the others are fresher. She will sing at the end. So we can start up with the, we can say the smallest student right now. And you can understand Kanika ma'am is the smallest one. Youngest one, whatever you can say, ma'am. My English is very bad, ma'am. I'm so sorry.
So you want me to sing?
Everybody will sing, ma'am, after you.
Or can I say a rhyme?
Ma'am, that will be out of syllabus, ma'am. But if you get a maths paper, how can you solve a science paper, ma'am?
No, so this is a mathematical rhyme.
Okay, done.
I am a very bad singer, so I'm not singing. Please excuse me with that. So this is a rhyme which I keep singing because I just love that. And that is 1, 2, buckle my shoe, 3, 4, shut the door, 5, 6, pick up the sticks, 7, 8, lay them straight, 9, 10, a big fat hen. So that is what keeps me close to numbers. Yeah.
Ma'am, I can just ask, I'm so sorry I'm asking this question. Do you go in class 12th and teach?
Sorry?
Ma'am, do you go in grade 12th and teach something?
I do go. I teach 12th grade and I teach them English. Maths is not my subject.
My goodness, ma'am. How can students teach students, ma'am? No problem.
Thank you. I'll take it as a compliment. Thank you.
I'm giving as a compliment, ma'am. Thank you so much. We'll come up to Anisha ma'am now.
गाना मेरे बस की बात नहीं है सर, बट आई कैन ट्राई.
ये भी एक गाना है, गा सकती हैं आप मैम.
चलते चलते मेरे ये गीत याद रखना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना. Thank you.
Wonderful, ma'am. That was appropriate. That's also my favorite song, Kabhi Alvida Na Kehna. Rajiv sir.
जी सर.
Gentlemen.
सर सब भाग जाएंगे?
नहीं भागेंगे सर, ऑनलाइन पे है, कोई नहीं भागेगा.
It's dedicated to all the teachers, and you just said that Teachers Day. So just dedicated to all the teachers. मधुबन खुशबू देता है, सागर सावन देता है, जीना उसका जीना है, जो औरों को जीवन देता है, मधुबन खुशबू देता है.
Sir, we are talking to Indian Idol people to start up a season with the education is the principles only. You are going to, sir, you are going to quarterfinals over there, sir. You are going to quarterfinals. Many principals have gone to finals also, sir. Yesterday we had Rajesh Rathore, sir. He is the Saudi president of Jammu. I mean, when you listen to his songs, na, I'll upload that. Uploaded within a day or two. I'll send the links also. He's wonderful singer. So many beautiful singers we have got because we principals are genius, sir. We also all the time we have to have smiling faces in front of all the stakeholders. They used to say, "Kya hukam hai mere aaka?" Now we say, "What can we do for you?" With the management, with the government, with CBSE, or the boards, and with the parents, with the students, with the teachers, with the 4th class employees, also everywhere. What can we do for you? But we are always we are dignified, sir. We are all rounders. And this is also reason we are a principal. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Aparna ma'am, you have already taken a suggestion for the song, ma'am. You can start now.
For the song. Okay. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 तेरा करूं बेटा मैं इंतजार आजा बेटा आई मैथ्स की क्लास.
Very appropriate song, ma'am. Very appropriate song for the mathematics. So this song can be recorded and sent to the students. Beta, it's a math class. You can come now. Very good. It should be announced during the school time, the period time. Rashmi ma'am, the senior one, ma'am. You are senior right now. Rashmi ma'am.
This is the most boring part, even more fearful than maths, because I'm a very bad singer and always you ask me to sing at the end.
See the paper was out with you. You were knowing that you have to sing. Others were not knowing, but you were knowing that you have to sing. So I'm pretty sure that you are prepared with that.
And in that also, what the challenging part is, today I was prepared with the answer, but Anisha ma'am sang that song.
No, you can repeat that. No problem. The same answer can be written by many students, man. No problem. Rashmi ma'am has network problem, or she is trying to while singing.
Yeah.
No, there's a network problem.
She got a network problem.
Rashmi ma'am, there's a network problem, ma'am. Rashmi ma'am, we cannot hear you, ma'am. You have a network problem. We'll come back to you. Don't worry, you settle up your network. By that time, we'll come to Nirmal sir. Nirmal sir, if you want that, we all, ma'am, you are there, ma'am. Rashmi ma'am. Rashmi ma'am.
I got disconnected, I think.
Yes, ma'am, you can start now. Again.
चलते चलते मेरे ये गीत याद रखना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, चलते चलते. That's all.
मैम ऐसे अगर चलाएंगे तो सब भाग जाएंगे मैम. I'm joking, ma'am. But still, ma'am, you have improved. You have improved a lot, ma'am. Rekha, ma'am, Rashmi, ma'am, Nirmal sir, your chance, sir. You are an expert. You have to be expert of the singing also.
Yes, sir. Definitely. I had a lot of practice with all your shows. So here goes. Dukki pe dukki ho, ya satte pe satta. Dukki pe dukki ho, या सत्ते पे सत्ता, गौर से देखा जाए तो बस है पत्ते पे पत्ता, कोई फर्क नहीं अलबत्ता, कोई फर्क नहीं अलबत्ता. Thank you.
Wonderful maths related song. That is very wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you had a good time. Aparna ma'am, thank you so much. Rajiv sir, thank you. Anisha ma'am, thank you. Kanika ma'am, thank you. Nirmal sir, thank you. And Rashmi Rekha ma'am, thank you so much for coming once again. I hope you had a good time. Hope to see you another season, another session very soon. Thank you so much.
Sir, before you leave, we want to hear you. One line.
I was about to say, what about you singing?
You have to sing.
Yes, sir.
Why?
Rashmi ma'am, I think I should sing the same song the third time. What was the song?
Chalte chalte.
Okay,
Chalte
chalte
chalte.
chalte. Okay. I'll sing for that. चलते चलते मेरे ये गीत याद रखना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, रोते हंसते यूं ही तुम गुनगुनाते रहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना. Thank you so much. I hope you had a good time.